I love seeing you.
Ditto, and I
really
feel
do.
like since the last time we talked, you've had another kiddo.
Yeah, I have a daughter now.
Oh my God.
She's 18 months and she's wild. Yeah, there they are. I know, she's great. It's
And you look fabulous in that number. By the beach, go ahead.
Thank you, yes.
Yeah, that's it, or don't buy it, you're on it, whatever. I need more coffee, Lea.
I get it, I've had 3 matchas and I'm feeling so good right now. So ask me anything, let's go.
I love a matcha moment.
Yes.
So wait, you moved back to New York, right?
I did.
What was the move? Why did you choose to do
I
that?
came back, my husband and I moved back in 2020. I lived in LA for, I think, doing Glee, it came together as like almost 14 years.
Yeah.
And I really loved it there. I grew to love it. I didn't love it at first, but the next thing you know, I was like driving a Prius and I was vegan and hiking all the time.
Going to yoga.
I was so embedded in the LA life, in the culture. But you know, during the pandemic, we were away from our families and it was really hard. And I was in the hospital room, we had just had our son and I was like, I want to go home. And my husband had just moved his business there. And I was like, if you want to marry me, you have to move to LA. He did everything. And then we came back home and I'm so happy to be back. I was able to do Funny Girl, you know, a couple of years ago. And now
congrats on that.
Thank you so much.
That's cool. Very cool.
It feels so good to be home. And I mean, I don't know how you feel like being here in New York, but New York is really special. It's just like to be with my 2 children and raising them here and being back in theater, like it's a really great feeling. And being near family is the best.
Well, you're back in the theater that you debuted in, right, when you were a kid?
Yes, I'm back in the same theater that I made my Broadway debut in 30 years ago.
You feel too young for that.
I'm gonna be 40.
But you started so young, that's why. I'm like, how old were you? Was it Les Mis?
Yeah, it was Les Mis when I was 8 years old, and I'm back in the same theater
Wait, what
now.
year would that have been? What year would you have been?
That's me.
I'm trying to think if that's, oh my God, I wonder.
It was 1996.
Oh my God.
Did you see me?
Oh my God. I took a choir, I was on scholarship because Mama couldn't afford but I was on scholarship. I went with my choir program to New York City, and the musical I saw was Les Mis, and you would have been in it.
There you go. I mean, this has been such a year of like
that's crazy
weird,
to me.
Wild, full circle moments. Yeah, it's so great.
I didn't know that. You're so good. That thing changed my life. That musical changed. I had never seen anything like that in person.
I hadn't either.
What?
Well, how I got into this business and everything was like such a crazy story. I'd never performed before. I saw Les Mis on Broadway, and I remember it affecting me and being like, I don't know what I'm experiencing, but I'm feeling something.
Yeah.
And then there was an open call in my hometown a few weeks later, and I just went for fun and I booked it. And then I was on Broadway 2 weeks later.
That's not normal.
I'd never sung before. My dad told me I couldn't sing. I wasn't a singer. Dad.
Your dad might be tone deaf.
He told me I was a good dancer.
Yeah. That's like the best thing when you're like, hey, is this good? You're like, well, you're good at this.
That's exactly.
Let me tell you what you are good at.
That's what he said. And then I was on Broadway 2 weeks later, and now here I am 30 years later in this
same theater.
And bringing my children there.
That's pretty special.
It's really, really special. And playing this role that I love so much and singing this music. I mean, Kelly, you would love to play this part. Like you would honestly,
what's your favorite part about playing it? And how's it different?
She is so fierce and strong, and I've played a lot of amazing characters before, but I've also played a lot of younger characters. This is the first character that I'm playing. She's a woman. She's really grown and she's grounded, and she has a strength to her, and I've often had to use, not had to, but I've used comedy a lot in the parts that I've played as sort of my exterior or my shield. And with this, I don't have anything to kind of hold on to. She's just vulnerable and having to use that strength. And the singing, the songs, if I play them for you, you would be like, give me this right now.
I love that moment. Are you ever sitting at a show and you're not on stage?
And you're like,
I would crush this.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I would, you know what I'm saying? You're like, it makes you, inspires you. Not in a bad way. It's just like, you did such a good job with what you're doing that I want to leave the theater right now and go sing it in my bedroom.
They said, listen to this song. I was in Funny Girl. It was 11 o'clock at night. They were like, listen to this song. If you connect with it, you might want to do this show. And I was frozen in my kitchen after doing Funny Girl. I was like, I have to play this part.
I love it.
It's so fierce.
Well, tell us about it's kind of is it a political thriller musical?
Oh,
I've been told that that's kind of a description. I'm like, what does that entail?
So chess is a show. It's a love triangle.
Okay,
myself and there you go.
Yep.
It's a love triangle set during the height of the Cold War, and it's a heated chess rivalry that's happening. Do you see what I did there?
I do.
Heated
I like
chess
it.
rivalry.
Yeah.
Happening, and amazing music by Tim Rice and Benny and Bjorn from ABBA. So just this amazing pop music, and it's fun. And yeah, there's politics involved, and I just know that right now going to theater is challenging. Tickets are expensive, and but we give you the full theater experience of making you feel something, great music, great performers, and making you think like all at the same time. So I'm so proud of it. I really am.
Oh man, I can't wait to see it. I love it when the music, and we get this, both of us, but it's like when the music grabs me. I love the story, obviously, but with the music, I'm like
unlike, and it's also like vocally as a singer, it's the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
Why? How?
So it's like shifting gears. So I'll go from singing one of the hardest, like belting pop songs I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
And then walk off stage and come back on and I'm singing legit soprano musical theater. And you, like, you know, so I have to tell my voice. I have the same voice
different
teacher.
placement.
Me and Ariana Grande have the same voice teacher. Hi,
Never
Eric
heard of her.
Vitro. Love you. And so he does. He makes us like often talk like in like a higher pitch, like talk a little bit like this so that you're not resting on your vocal cords. So first I had to like, in order for this character, I trained myself to talk even a little deeper because I wanted her to have more of like a grounded sound to her voice. But then after going off stage from singing these like pop songs and like screaming and belting, I'll be walking off stage and I'll be like, and now I'm gonna go sing a pretty song.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna, and like trying to warm up those higher notes and then going out there and it's that, and then shifting again. And
I'm telling you, we do days where, because I'll get, you know, I'm human, I get sick sometimes, so we have to like stack Kellyoke. So we do Kellyoke, they're called Kellyoke days. And we have to record 12, like back to back. And you have to do it in a certain amount of time, which is a few hours. And I'm telling you what, when you're singing Metallica, and then you come right back out for some I'm Your Baby Tonight, Whitney Houston, and then you come right back out for
Kelly
some
Clarkson, everybody.
No. I'm not saying I'm not saying I crush it. I'm not saying I crush it every time, but I'm saying it's hard. It is the biggest, excuse me, mind of your life. And that's you're out, and I literally look and I was like, what? Okay, wait, this is this is Destiny's Child. So we're gonna I'm like, it's like a completely I do understand
what I do and
it is about placement though. I think you're
have to
talented
place
enough
it.
to know.
But it's so hard, and after doing Funny Girl, I was like, how can I find something that's gonna challenge me? Because that was so incredibly challenging.
Yeah.
But what this means vocally and who this character is emotionally, all of that combined makes this feel like such a delicious challenge to have every night.
Yeah, it's exciting. Always a student. I love it. So you've worked with the director of Chess previously.
Yes, Michael Mayer. I met him when I was 14 years old.
Wow.
We did Spring Awakening together. We did Funny Girl together.
Oh my God, I saw you in that too. I just remembered. I've seen you a lot. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, we've worked together, which is so great. It's nice having a director that you have a relationship with and a sense of familiarity. I think what it allowed me to do in this process is just to dive in, because it wasn't like a let's get to know each other first.
Oh, that's nice.
We just had such a trust amongst each other, and I was able to just dive into the show and the character.
You have a shorthand, probably.
Completely. Yeah.
That's amazing. So when did Michael approach you about doing Chess?
It was during Funny Girl, and he was like, you know, I'm doing another show, and I had just come back to Broadway and was so happy to be back on the stage, and I really knew that this is now what I want to do again for the rest of my life if I'm to be so lucky, but I wanted to have another baby, and I was like, I have to have another baby.
Yeah, and you got to fit it in, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's
hard,
you know, it's a lot. And so I was like, listen, if you can wait for me, that would be amazing, and they did. They waited. I had my daughter, and then I came back 6 month later and started this. Yeah.
But they waited. That doesn't always happen.
That was really great.
That has to make you feel good.
I feel incredibly grateful, and you know, to now have my kids like come to the theater. And my mom the other day, she brought my 2 kids, and she was like, do you know how crazy it is? I'm bringing my grandchildren to the same place that I brought you at 8 years old to do your job. Like, it's pretty unbelievable. And my daughter felt a little too comfortable on that stage.
Yeah.
She was like, Red, I go over here, I go over there.
I think as they grow up watching you do, they think everybody does it. My kids will do that too. And I'm like, well, slow down. Yeah, it's like, yeah.
But I sensed a little something that I was like, okay, I'm just gonna keep my eye on this.
That's exciting.
It was really nice.
So is it true? I heard that Jonathan Groff actually is the one who told you that Aaron Tveit should be your co-star. Is that true?
Well, so I work with Nicholas Christopher and Aaron Tveit as my co-stars in the show, and they are both amazing men to work with every day. We all have 5 kids under 5 between the 3 of us, which is amazing. But the vocals in this show, we all have to do individually, and Aaron's character in particular, I was like, who is gonna play this part that's gonna be able to sing this song every single night? And he was like, well, you have to call Aaron Tveit. So it was such a game of telephone. I called Becca Tobin, now Becca Martin, that I was on Glee with, and I said, can you get me Aaron's wife Erica's phone number? So then Becca gave me Erica's number, and then Erica gave me Aaron's number, thanks to Jonathan, and then Aaron said yes, and now Aaron's in the show. So
that's incredible.
So thank you, Jonathan, Becca, and Erica, and then of course Aaron.
Yeah, all the people it took chess-wise to get to that.
It's a chess game.
Yeah,
it's a chess game.
Exactly.
There you go.
So you have a cast album coming out.
Yes, we do.
What's it like? Because it is different. We've both been in studios and both been on stage. Like, it's like in different ways. Not like you, I have not. But I just mean like you've both been on like tour or whatever is what I meant for me. But like, what is it like recording the album like that?
Kelly,
because it's different live.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you feed off the energy in a live setting.
Having done Glee, and we recorded over 800 musical numbers on Glee, which isn't crazy.
Yeah.
But so I know how to have to navigate in a studio and have to record a song or an album in a short
finite amount of time. Yeah.
Exactly. But it's not like recording a solo album where you can do one song. You could do it for a whole week if you wanted to. You could do it for as long as you want until you feel it's good. But we had to record this album within the course of, I mean, I did it over the course of 3 days. Everyone else just did it over the course of 1. And at the same time doing our show and going in and we did each song maybe like 2 or 3 times and gave it our all. It was an awesome experience. We were all in this one big room together. And there are a lot of numbers where we can't often like connect and see each other because of where we're spaced, whether we're dancing or how the staging is. But this was so powerful. We were all in this big room in like a circle together and singing the songs. And I have to say, like, it was one of the most thrilling days I've ever had in my life to just sing the songs with everyone. I think this album is gonna be so incredible. I can't wait for everyone to hear it.
Yeah.
And like, what has made this experience feel the most full circle is like the last time I was on a stage and I felt like completely fearless was when I was on this same stage when I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
It's like when you see kids on the ski slopes and they're just going down and they're like, I'm fearless.
They don't know yet.
They don't know. And then
yeah.
you get older and you're like, wait, I could get hurt.
Yeah.
And you get scared.
Yeah.
But I've worked so hard on trying to find a way to, like you said, like let it go.
I think the thing though is that you rehearse enough. Like, you know what I'm saying? You rehearse enough, and it doesn't matter all the rehearsal in the world.
And by the way, when you
still
mess
screw up,
everyone loves it.
Yeah.
They love it. They think it's so fun.
Oh my God, there's nothing more funny than like
right.
in Vegas, we're doing a show and I'm like, and I will look right at the audience and go, so that didn't pan out.
Like,
that was not what Mama intended.
But,
But
like,
then, you know, you nail something else and you're like, no, I am talented, I swear to God.
and it's like more, now it feels more often than not I'm able to, and that's why I'm so grateful for this show and this experience, because I feel that way that I felt when I was young again. And to sing these songs and to be able to do them with such a sense of like fearlessness is, wow, it's an awesome, awesome feeling.
I love that. Well, let's take a short break. Chess is playing now at the Imperial Theater on Broadway. Go online for tickets, y'all.